It's Everything Electric South this weekend at the Farnborough International Conference Centre. Join me for a wander around the event. Let's see what's on offer this time out. Everything Electric is the new name for the fully charged live events. They bring together all things electric. Oh, they should use that as the name. Oh wait, they have. This show is a place to see and learn about a lot of things I talk about on the channel. So if I've piqued your interest to date, stick with me to learn more about this show, either because you can't make it yourself, or because you might try to, if there's enough here of interest. This is one of the bigger events in the UK, I think. It feels bigger than London, for example, because of the use of the outside space in addition to the inside area. To date on the channel, I've mostly covered EVs, so let's start there. There are a number of new models to see this time. Of particular interest to me are the smaller, more affordable models, and there are some corkers here this time. It's the first time I've seen the Dacia Spring. This EV has been available for a while on the continent, but the first generation EV version wasn't sold at all in the UK, so it's good to see it in the metal at last. This really is motoring on a budget. This one starts at just shy of £15,000 over here. Now you don't get a lot of electrical performance for that, of course. The entry-level model has just 45 horsepower and a battery of just over 26 kilowatt hour. The higher extreme trim has 65 horsepower, bringing the 0 to 60 down from glacial to merely slow. But this is very much intended as an affordable city runabout, and it's probably nippy enough in an urban environment, when you're popping the kids to school, for example. Next up is the Hyundai Inster. This looks like a really exciting proposition to me. It's got some interesting interior layout options because all of the seats will fold and slide. That should make it a very versatile car, capable of carrying 4 people or awkward cargo. The press shots show it carrying a surfboard, for example, by folding both the front and rear seats on the opposite side of the car to the driver. I don't surf myself, but I can see how useful that versatility might be. This one has either a 42 kilowatt hour or a 49 kilowatt hour battery and offers 96 or 115 brake horsepower. The longer range version therefore isn't all that far off the capabilities of the Renault Zoe, but in a package about 25 centimetres shorter and with a price of just under £27,000. It will be nice to see that price ease down a little bit more, but you can have the shorter range variant for about £23,500, which is a bit more like it. This is one you definitely need to see in person. I wasn't sure I liked the looks or colours when I saw photos, but up close I don't mind the low down headlights as much as I thought I would, and I quite like this particular colour. But the small car that I've been waiting for the most is the Renault 5. Renault are back at the show after a couple of years' absence, and this time they bring us this little cutie. They have been teasing us for quite a long time with this one, and They have been teasing us about this one for quite a long time, and we still won't get delivery of them until next year here in the UK, but at least a new set of people will get to see it at the show. I love the styling of the car, and the yellow paintwork has a stunning finish that the camera really doesn't do justice. It's a really nicely proportioned car, this one, and I think it might be a great drive as well, as it has multi-link rear suspension, for example. Zoe owners will be pleased to hear that this particular show car has a height adjustable driver's seat, although I'm a bit disappointed that the rear seats don't seem to fold flat, just like the Zoe. However, we probably need to wait for the production cars to confirm all of the details. It's thought that the top trim will have a 52 kilowatt hour battery and a 150 horsepower motor, making it powerful for its size. And it will also charge about twice as fast as the Zoe, doing about 10 to 80% in just over half an hour. And if you think 150 horsepower sounds a bit tame, despite the R5's diminutive size, then you might be interested in its somewhat bonkers sibling, the Alpine A290. This is quite similar in shape and will have the same 52 kilowatt-hour battery, but offers two higher power motor variants, the top of which is expected to offer 215 brake horsepower. I expect that'll be a handful in a car this size. Other cars you might be interested in seeing include the Porsche Macan, which will be of interest to those with a few quid more than me, and it was the first sight I got of the Volvo EX90, as well as a look at the first Rivian R1S into the country. Polestar are here in a bit more force this time, now that they have both the 3 and 4 to show. I was looking forward to seeing the Tesla Cybertruck, but sadly logistical issues have delayed its arrival, but it should be there from Saturday. There are, of course, plenty more besides for those interested in cars. Quite a lot of manufacturers are offering test drives, for example, so if you fancy having more than just a tyre kick, remember to bring your driving licence and a recent DVLA check code so you can give something a try. However, note that there are several large groups who are not in attendance this year. None of the Stellantis brands are exhibiting, so there are no cars from Citroën, Peugeot, Vauxhall, Fiat, Jeep or Alfa. Also conspicuous by their absence are the Volkswagen Audi group, so there is nothing on show from Volkswagen, Audi, Skoda or Seat. If four wheels are not your thing, then there are two wheels aplenty too. Personal mobility like e-bikes and e-scooters are here in force, including an arena to try them out in. And there are a few electric motorbikes as well. There is even a small section for commercial vans, as well as some interesting and rather lovely looking classic car conversions. But it's not just about EVs. Inside are a whole host of manufacturers of devices for your electric home, whether that be heat pumps, home energy generation and storage, or home charging solutions of various types. Not to mention a plethora of smaller stands vying for your attention, keen to talk to you about what they offer, more than I can possibly mention in this short video. Experts are on hand in the Energy Advice Zone, so you can arrange an appointment to discuss your particular interest with them. Perhaps you have a home project in mind about which you'd appreciate a bit of advice, for example. There are food stalls aplenty for when your stomach starts to rumble, as well as two theatres with regular talks on topics many and varied, for when you want to take the weight off, or to listen into one of the deep dives. All in all, I'd say it's a good event. It's not as big an event as in previous years, but there is plenty to see for the uninitiated, and the range of stands cater for many a taste. It's not all about cars by any means. I put a link to the brochure in the description if you want more detail on all of the companies attending, or to peruse the list of talks and their start times. Tickets are still available for the weekend if you fancy coming and seeing for yourself. And remember to say hi if you see me. I'll be here all weekend, and I'd love to meet you. Thanks very much for joining me. Please like the video if you've enjoyed it, and I'd love you to subscribe.